Hey everyone, welcome back to SpeakNext English Podcast. I'm Sophia.
Hello, dear friends. I'm James, and we are so genuinely happy you're here.
Honestly, showing up here today is already a step in the right direction.
If you're new here, please subscribe to our channel right now, please.
Hit that bell so YouTube shows you every new episode we create together.
And to our returning listeners, welcome back. We truly missed having you here.
Today's topic is one that hits close to home for so many learners everywhere.
We're talking about why you still feel stuck in your English learning journey today.
Honestly, this is such an honest and important conversation that nobody really wants to have.
But we're having it anyway because you deserve real, honest answers about your progress.
James, have you ever personally felt completely stuck in your language learning before?
Oh, absolutely. And for longer than I'm comfortable admitting, honestly, to everyone right now.
Tell us, what did being stuck actually feel like for you personally back then?
It felt like running on a treadmill. Lots of effort, but going absolutely nowhere at all.
That treadmill image is so perfect. Studying hard, but feeling no real forward movement happening.
I was doing lessons every single day, but my conversations weren't getting any better somehow.
How long did that stuck feeling last before you figured out what was actually wrong?
About 8 months of genuine frustration before I finally understood the real problem completely.
8 months is a long time to feel stuck. What did you eventually discover was wrong?
I discovered I was doing all the wrong things very consistently and very diligently every day.
Oh, so you weren't lazy, you were actually working hard, but in the completely wrong direction.
Exactly. I was studying hard, but not in ways that actually build real communicative skills at all.
That's such an important distinction that we need to explore deeply in this episode today.
Because so many learners think being stuck means they need to work harder on studying more.
When actually, the answer is usually working differently, not necessarily working harder than before.
Let's start with the first reason why people feel stuck, which is passive learning addiction, honestly.
Passive learning addiction. That's such a specific phrase. Can you explain what that actually means?
Passive learning means consuming English without actively producing or using it in real situations.
So, watching English videos, reading English articles, listening to English podcasts without speaking yourself?
Exactly. It feels like learning because you're busy and engaged with English content constantly.
But your brain is in receiving mode, not in production mode, which is completely different neurologically.
And speaking, writing, and using English actively is what actually builds real communicative ability over time.
I talk to so many learners who watch 10 English YouTube videos a day consistently.
But they haven't had a real English conversation with anyone in weeks or even months, honestly.
They feel like they're learning because they're consuming, but consuming and using are totally different things.
It's like watching cooking videos for hours every day, but never actually going into the kitchen.
That's such a perfect comparison. You might know a lot about cooking theoretically after that.
But you absolutely cannot cook without actually getting into the kitchen and doing it yourself.
Language is exactly the same. You must actually use it to genuinely develop fluency in it.
What's the solution for passive learning addiction? How do people break that comfortable habit?
You need to deliberately schedule active English use into your week every single week consistently.
Not just passive consumption of content, but actual speaking, writing, and interacting in English regularly.
Language exchange apps, tutors, conversation partners, online communities where English is actively used daily.
Even talking to yourself out loud in English while cooking or commuting counts as active practice.
The key word is active. Your mouth needs to move and your brain needs to produce language.
Now, let's talk about the second big reason people feel stuck in their English learning journey.
What's the second reason? I have a feeling I know what it might be, honestly, already.
The second reason is staying only in comfortable learning zones without ever pushing past them.
Oh, yes. The comfort zone issue is massive in English learning, and so few people recognize it.
What do you mean specifically by staying in comfortable learning zones in language learning?
It means only reading content at your current level, only watching videos you already understand easily.
Only having conversations about topics you already know well without challenging yourself with new ones.
It feels safe and comfortable, you understand everything, and nothing feels difficult or overwhelming at all.
It feels safe and comfortable, you understand everything, and nothing feels difficult or overwhelming at all.
But comfort means you're not being challenged, and no challenge means very little real growth happens.
There's actually a concept called the zone of proximal development that's really important to understand here.
Oh, what is that? It sounds quite technical, but I suspect it's actually quite simple to understand.
It means the zone just above your current level where things are challenging but still achievable.
So not so hard that you're completely lost, but definitely harder than what you currently know.
Exactly. That slightly uncomfortable zone is actually where all the real learning and growth happens.
But most learners avoid that zone because it feels frustrating, confusing, and uncomfortable to be in daily.
Which is completely understandable emotionally, but completely counterproductive for actual language development over time.
Struggling with slightly too hard material is literally what forces your brain to grow and adapt.
So if you're understanding everything perfectly easily, you're probably not learning much new anymore currently.
Some discomfort and confusion is actually a sign that genuine learning is actively happening for you.
That's such a liberating reframe. Confusion isn't failure, it's actually a sign of real growth.
Exactly. Embrace the confusion a little. It means you're in the right learning zone right now.
Now, let's discuss the third reason people feel stuck, and this one is really emotionally honest.
Oh, is this the one about fear? Because I think fear plays such a massive role here.
Yes, fear of making mistakes is one of the single biggest obstacles to English progress anywhere.
It's sneaky too, because it doesn't always feel like fear from the outside looking in.
It disguises itself as perfectionism, as preparation, as needing more study before you're actually ready.
I'll speak English when my grammar's better. How many learners have said exactly that phrase?
Millions probably, and the tragic irony is that you can only improve grammar by actually speaking.
You cannot improve at speaking English by avoiding speaking English. It's completely circular and self-defeating.
I had a student once who studied English for 5 years without speaking to a single native speaker.
5 years? That's incredible dedication without any real speaking practice throughout that entire time period.
She knew incredible amounts of grammar theory, but couldn't complete a simple conversation comfortably at all.
Because speaking is a completely separate skill from knowing grammar rules theoretically in your mind.
It requires practice, repetition, and yes, making embarrassing mistakes in front of real human beings.
And here's what learners need to deeply understand about making mistakes in English conversations today.
What do they need to understand? Tell us, because I think this perspective is really important.
Native speakers are not judging your grammar nearly as much as you think they are at all.
They're listening to your message and meaning, not mentally grading your grammatical accuracy as you speak.
When someone is having a conversation with you, they're thinking about what to say next themselves.
They're not sitting there counting your grammatical errors and forming judgments about your intelligence meanwhile.
The grammar police you're afraid of mostly exist in your own anxious imagination, not in reality.
That's such a reassuring and honest thing to say to learners who are held back by fear.
Now, let's talk about the fourth reason people feel stuck. And this is a mindset issue deeply.
Is it the comparison trap? Because I've seen so many learners destroy their confidence by comparing themselves.
Yes, constantly comparing yourself to other learners or native speakers is incredibly destructive to progress.
You see someone on social media speaking perfect fluent English and think you'll never reach that level.
But you don't see their 10 years of daily practice, their embarrassing mistakes, their frustrated moments.
You only see the polished, finished result, not the messy, difficult journey that got them there.
Comparing your Chapter 1 to someone else's Chapter 20 is completely unfair to yourself, honestly.
I love that phrase, Chapter 1 versus Chapter 20. What a perfect way to frame it.
Everyone starts at Chapter 1, and nobody gets to Chapter 20 without going through every chapter first.
The person you're comparing yourself to was probably exactly where you are right now once.
They just kept going through the uncomfortable, frustrating, stuck-feeling chapters until they reached fluency.
There's another comparison that's even more damaging, though, comparing yourself to your own past self.
Wait, comparing yourself to your past self? How is that damaging? That sounds helpful, actually.
It's damaging when you focus on how far you still have to go instead of how far you've come.
Oh, so the direction of the comparison matters enormously to how it affects your motivation and confidence.
Exactly. Looking backward at progress is encouraging, while looking forward at remaining distance feels overwhelming.
Instead of, I'm still not fluent after 2 years, try, I know so much more than before.
Both statements might be factually true, but they create completely opposite emotional effects on your motivation.
One keeps you going, and one makes you want to quit everything you've worked for.
The language you use to talk to yourself about your progress genuinely matters enormously for persistence.
Now, let's discuss the fifth reason people feel stuck, which is inconsistency in their practice habits.
Oh, this is the one that I think most honestly applies to the most learners everywhere, honestly.
Why do you think inconsistency is so common among language learners trying to improve their English?
Because language learning is a marathon, but people approach it with a sprinter's bursts of energy.
They study intensively for 2 weeks when motivation is high, and they feel really excited about it.
Then life gets busy, motivation drops, and suddenly 3 weeks pass without any English practice at all.
Then they feel guilty, study intensively again for a bit, and the whole cycle repeats itself.
This on-off pattern might feel like studying a lot, but it's actually very inefficient for progress.
The brain learns language through consistent, repeated exposure over time, not through occasional, intense bursts.
20 minutes of English practice every single day beats 2 hours on Sunday once a week significantly.
Consistency beats intensity every single time when it comes to language acquisition and development, honestly.
There's a concept called spaced repetition that explains why consistency matters so much for language learning.
Can you explain spaced repetition simply for learners who might not know this concept yet today?
Spaced repetition means reviewing material at increasing intervals rather than cramming it all at once intensively.
So instead of studying 50 words in one marathon session, you review 10 words over 5 days.
Your brain consolidates language knowledge during sleep and rest between practice sessions over time, consistently.
So the gaps between practice sessions are actually important parts of the learning process themselves.
Which means studying every day with rest in between is the most neurologically effective approach available.
Not the most exciting advice, but it's what actually works for real language development over time.
Now, let's talk about something that feeds the stuck feeling in a really specific way today.
What is it? I want to make sure we cover everything that genuinely traps learners today.
It's measuring progress the wrong way, using the wrong metrics to evaluate your actual English improvement.
Oh, what are the wrong metrics that people use to measure their English progress incorrectly?
Test scores, grammar exercise accuracy, how many vocabulary words you've memorized, lessons completed on apps.
These feel measurable and satisfying, but they don't actually reflect real communicative ability at all.
You can have a perfect grammar score and still be unable to have a natural flowing conversation.
The right metric is whether you can communicate your actual thoughts and ideas to real people.
Can you express yourself well enough that people understand you and engage with what you're saying?
Can you understand enough to follow conversations in movies, podcasts, or real-life situations around you?
Can you handle unexpected situations in English without completely freezing up from fear or anxiety?
These communicative measures are what actually matter for real-world English ability and genuine fluency.
When learners track V's instead of test scores, they often discover they've made more progress than they realized.
That realization is so important for breaking through the stuck feeling that holds so many people back.
Now, let's talk about what to actually do when you're genuinely feeling completely stuck in your learning.
Yes, because we want to give everyone practical steps, not just insight into what's going wrong.
Step 1 is doing an honest audit of how you actually spend your English learning time daily.
Write down everything you do for English in a typical week without judging yourself honestly at all.
How many hours passive versus active? How much speaking versus reading? How much output versus input?
That honest audit usually reveals immediately where the imbalance is that's causing your stuck feeling.
Step 2 is deliberately adding one active speaking practice session to your week starting this week.
Just one, don't overhaul everything at once because that's unsustainable and you'll likely quit quickly.
Find a language exchange partner, book one conversation tutor session, or join an online English community.
Even speaking to yourself in English while recording a 1-minute video on your phone counts completely.
Step 3 is deliberately choosing slightly harder content than you're currently comfortable consuming right now.
If you usually watch English videos with subtitles, try one without subtitles and see what happens.
If you usually read simple English articles, try one slightly more complex and see how you do.
Push just slightly past your comfort zone consistently, and your comfort zone will gradually expand naturally.
Step 4 is changing how you talk to yourself about your English learning journey and progress.
Notice when you're being unfairly negative about your progress and intentionally challenge that narrative you tell yourself.
Instead of, I've been learning for 3 years and I'm still not fluent, I'm hopeless.
Try, I've been learning for 3 years and I can do things I absolutely couldn't do before.
The second version is more accurate and more motivating for continuing your learning journey forward.
Step 5 is finding your real why for learning English beyond just to be better at English.
Your why? What do you mean by finding your why in this context exactly?
Why do you actually want to be fluent in English? What specific things will it enable for you?
Like, I want to connect with international colleagues at work more effectively and confidently every day.
Or, I want to understand my favorite shows without subtitles and enjoy them on a deeper level.
Or, I want to travel without feeling anxious and helpless about communication in foreign countries I visit.
These specific personal motivations are so much more powerful than abstract goals about being fluent generally.
When you feel stuck, reconnecting with your specific personal why reignites motivation immediately and powerfully.
Now let's talk about something really important, celebrating small wins in your English learning journey.
Oh yes, the stuck feeling often comes from only celebrating big milestones and ignoring small progress.
Big milestones like passing exams or having perfect conversations might be months or years apart in time.
But small wins happen every single day if you're paying attention and looking for them honestly.
Like understanding a joke in English for the very first time without needing any explanation at all.
Or successfully handling a difficult phone call in English that would have panicked you completely before.
Or using a new English expression naturally in conversation without even consciously thinking about it much.
These small wins are evidence of real growth that gets completely invisible when you're feeling stuck.
Writing them down in a small progress journal makes the growth visible and tangible for you.
I kept a small notebook where I wrote one English win every single day for 6 months.
Did that actually help you break through your stuck feeling, or was it just a nice habit?
It completely transformed how I saw my progress. I could see growth happening in real time.
Because you had evidence right there on paper that you were moving forward consistently every day.
Instead of just a vague feeling of being stuck that wasn't actually based in reality at all.
The stuck feeling is often a perception problem rather than an actual progress problem in reality.
Your brain underestimates your progress because it adapts to your new level quickly without realizing it.
What felt incredibly difficult 6 months ago now feels completely easy and normal to you today.
So you don't give yourself credit for that growth because it just feels normal now to you.
That's why external evidence like a progress journal is so valuable for maintaining motivation over time.
All right, let's wrap up this incredibly honest and important conversation about feeling stuck in English.
We covered passive learning addiction, staying in comfort zones, fear of mistakes, and unhelpful comparisons.
We discussed inconsistency, wrong progress metrics, and practical steps you can take now, starting right now.
The stuck feeling is real and valid, but it's not permanent and it's definitely not defeat.
It's information telling you that something in your approach needs to change and evolve going forward.
Use that feeling as a signal to audit, adjust, and recommit to your English learning journey.
You haven't failed. You've learned what doesn't work, which is valuable knowledge in itself always.
Now, go do something active in English today. Not tomorrow, not next week, but today.
If this episode helps you understand your stuck feeling better, please give it a like.
Subscribe to Speak Next English Podcast so you never miss our honest, helpful conversations like this.
Share this with an English learner who's been feeling stuck and needs to hear this today.
Leave a comment telling us which reason resonated most with your own personal learning experience.
We genuinely love reading every single comment from our amazing community members and listeners.
Thank you so much for being here with us today at Speak Next English Podcast, everyone.
Take care, stay consistent, and remember, being stuck is just a detour, not a dead end.
Goodbye, dear friends, and remember, every expert was once a stuck beginner just like you.
Bye-bye, everyone. We will see you in the next episode very soon together.